Professor, welcome.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Yeah. So what is a cyborg and what is cybernetics?
Yeah, well, cybernetics is linking technology, humans, communication, control, bringing it all together. And a cyborg is a special case of that, which Arnie Schwarzenegger defined it best.
Yes, yeah.
Cybernetic organism, part human, part machine, or part animal, part technology. It's that when it all comes together. I like to think it's also enhancing, that the cyborg has extra abilities rather than having problems.
Okay, yeah. So talking about this enhancement side of things, what have you done? What sort of stuff has happened in the field?
Well,
up to now?
the last implant that I had was 100 electrodes fired into my nervous system, linking my nervous system with the computer, also linking my nervous system with my wife's nervous system.
Yeah.
She also had electrodes. One of the things we did, which is an enhancement, is to send signals from her nervous system to my nervous system and back the other way.
Yes.
So every time she moved her hand, my brain received a pulse. So it was like a telegraphic, if you remember the Morse code type of system. What we were doing was that, but this time nervous system to nervous system. And where the research is heading is clearly to do that brain to brain.
Brain to brain, yeah.
So in the first instance, just simple telegraphic, but just as the telephone has moved forward and we now have laptops communicating in parallel with each other.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to communicate brain to brain, parallel signaling directly, thoughts, images, graphical concepts,
Okay.
ideas, emotions. We'll have a much richer form of communication instead of this pretty pathetic speech
Yeah.
that we have. It's awful, really, so limited.
Yeah, this is a problem we all have, is trying to find the right words to express what you mean, and then that will become.
Yeah, and I mean
a
the
thing of
words
past, I
you
guess.
have one. Everybody has fantastic thoughts and so on, and you try and say even to somebody you know, and these complex thoughts and images you're converting to these little serial coded pressure waves,
Yeah.
which is what words are.
Which is what they are,
bear
yeah.
almost no relation to the original thoughts that you had.
Yeah, and
That's
there's
the
only
best we
say
can do.
10,000 words in the dictionary, which
Yeah.
means how can we really say what we mean with those 10,000
Yeah,
words?
yeah.
So if we can see brain to brain, then is that what's it going to mean for privacy? Because a basic human privacy right now is you could be thinking anything, but I won't know. All I know is what you're expressing. So this is going to be a good thing, that I will get to actually know what you mean.
Yeah.
But this also could be a bad thing because it no longer leaves anything to the imagination.
I think that's been what's happening. That's the way the world is going. If you look at how things have changed, we've been giving up privacy and giving up
With
privacy.
the internet, I guess.
With the internet, with different communication and so on. And now around the world. Years ago, if you wanted to communicate with somebody in Australia, you would have to get on a ship and travel for a long
Months,
time and
yeah.
eventually say, hello, how are you? Now you can just press a few buttons and that's it.
Yeah.
You're communicating with them, even visually looking at them, and they're looking at you and so on, which is phenomenal in that sense. But if you now look 10, 15, 20 years ahead, where's it going to go?
Yeah.
Well, clearly signals from brain to brain, it has to be there.
So is that one of the drivers for you to improve communication? Is that one of the reasons you do this?
Communication, I think, it really is so poor how we communicate as humans. It's the interface between the human brain and technology. We have the technology now to move forwards with the interface, and if we can communicate just a little bit better, that will be fantastic. So it's one of my drivers.
Yeah.
It will help people locked in patients, people who have difficulties communicating, but for all of us,
Mutes, for example.
mute, exactly.
Yeah.
But for all of us, it's an enhancement. Why not everybody communicate that way? Very exciting enhancement.
Yeah. So these are really big ideas. Then they're totally changing the whole social structure of.
And senses. We have 5 fairly limited senses.
Yeah.
Vision is okay, but it's a small frequency spectrum. If we can now look like your television set senses in infrared, why not you?
Yeah.
Why not ultrasonics? Why not ultraviolet? So increasing the range of sensory input. which will increase the complexity that we understand the world in. So it may well allow us then to start thinking about doing other things than we think now are impossible, because we don't sense what's
I can really see the whole brain-to-brain thing increasing everything, increasing the rate of everything, increasing the rate of science, increasing the rate of business, for example, how everything will move forward faster.
And if you're not connected...
And very fascinating work. Thank you.
Thank you. Good talking with you. Cheers.
Thanks very much.